Hey everybody, so I'm going to show you my setup real quick on how I do self-portraits. I look terrible, but that's besides the point. Since we're all in this crazy quarantine moment, we're self-distancing, just madness in the world, I'm gonna just give you a little taste of what it is for my self-portraits. So if I can turn this thing around, which I might not be able to, no, I might not be able to. Okay, so this is essentially what I use. I put my camera up on the tripod and I sit my subjects or whatever, wherever I want to take photos of my daughter or my son or me, and I place it next to the window. I use a lot of side light in my self-portraits. And by side light, I just mean, Jada, would you put Mr. Thing up there on the chair so I can show everybody side light? Mr. Thing is going to be put over there by my beautiful daughter. Perfect. Okay, so
his favorite chair.
His favorite chair. So with side light, I just mean that the light is coming in sideways onto his face. If I did full frontal light, I'd be more from this direction, which I do try to use a little bit. But essentially, we just do it from this direction. I don't really backlight shoot a lot in windows. I do occasionally, and it's possible. But I usually go for a lot of side light. Huh?
What you doing, Mr.
Mr.
Thing?
Thing over there. So side light, you can see the light falls on just like half of his body, and his other half on this side is in the shadow. So that's how I do that. And then camera's sake, so what I do is I have a Nikon D750, and so I go into my settings and I do a Wi-Fi, and with that, okay, well, usually it lets me, I don't know. Oh, it's because I don't have a card in. Let me grab the card real fast.
Hello.
Hola.
Can I say hi?
Yeah, you want to come sit over in the chair so I don't get my messy room? My studio is a mess, so I'm not showing you guys the rest of my studio. Okay, so I do Wi-Fi, so go into your settings, Wi-Fi, and then you just hit enable, and then on your cell phone, which I can do a screen recording real quick, you'll go in and do Wi-Fi as well. So I'm going to cut this one off and go to another video for that. Okay, so you're going to go into your settings, and then you're going to choose a Wi-Fi network, and the Wi-Fi network is going to be labeled as Nikon for the app that you have downloaded. Once that connects, it'll be connected to your camera so that you can go out of there and open up the app itself. Once you get into the app, it's going to give you the option to either take the photos or view the photos. You can also scroll through the photos you have on your camera, but you can view them on your phone, which is kind of fun sometimes after a session to have and use, or even screenshot if you'd like to do like before and afters on your app, depending on how you want to cultivate that. So you essentially are going to click into take photos, and then it's going to pull up the face there. So here you're going to be in live mode of your camera, and that green or red square that you'll see is going to be your focal point, and so you can tap around on your phone to place your focal point or adjust your camera to where you want it to focus. As you can see, I'm going to start tapping around. And then here I clicked into the upper right hand corner to show you that I have it on live view, and I have download after shooting, which you can totally take that off. My phone is bogged down with 1,000,001 photos already as is. So that definitely makes it hard, especially with the way that I go through and kind of machine gun tap my shutter. So you can also do a self-timer. The self-timer through the app is a little difficult to use. It's honestly a little harder than just using the self-timer on the camera. You click the self-timer tab on if you want, but it only gives you like 1 or 2 seconds, and I just find that to be too little time for me to toss my phone to the side, then get in my pose, and then you only get that one picture. So the way that I'm going to show you today is going to help give a bit more movement into your images, into your self-portraits, and just kind of help, I don't know, just get more images within a smaller amount of time and kind of take the frustration away from everything. So I'll go out of that, and then you're going to see me just click around and focus on different things, showing you focusing on the chair and then to my son sitting on the windowsill. Okay. Okay, so essentially I set it up on the Wi-Fi, and instead of using the self-timer on the Wi-Fi on the Nikon app, I do it a little differently, and I do like a burst photo because the self-timer is not as great as you would want it to be, where it gives you like 2 seconds. It's hard to pose. So I do is I hit it a whole bunch, like a little machine gun, just that button, tap, 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 tap. So I have a lot of outtakes, and I'll show you that when we go through the photos, of me literally holding my phone, pressing the take photo button. So that helps. So then I've set my phone down, and my camera will continuously shoot photos, and me and my son and my daughter, whoever will pose. So I'm going to have my daughter take over the phone for a second, and just for the sake of seeing what it would look like, this is kind of how it would be. So I'll trade off with you, Missy. So you'll just record us over there in the corner.
Okay.
And then, and I'm going to grab...
Hi, Mr. Thing.
Come on, Mr. Thing.
Look at that chair.
Okay. You can step back a little if you need to. So I'm going to pretend... he's like, what are you doing over there? Come here, come dance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's dancing.
Dance.
So I'm going to use this and pretend that this is my cell phone. So essentially with the camera being over here, I set it up however I want to. You can move your tripod closer, further away. You can adjust the height. You can do an angle where it's angling down at you. So I'm going to pretend this is the phone. And with little kids, it's always a bit more difficult because you have to hold it straight, babe. You have to try to get them involved. So what I'll do with my cell phone with the app open is I'll sit there and I'll go like a machine gun and just press that tap so that it's just continuously taking the photo. I usually drop it off to the side, and then I begin to pose with my son, whether I hold his hands or if I'm not playing with him. He's making little kissy faces, just like that. And so we just sit there and we pose, and then that gives us all the photos. So from there, I take them onto the computer and I will do a little bit of editing.